And just moments ago, we got an update from police about the violence this weekend that took place in Charlottesville, Virginia. A 20-year-old man is accused of driving into a crowd of people who were protesting a rally full of white supremacists.
And tonight, police now tell us they're still receiving reports of assaults and additional crimes from that weekend. They're now setting up a hotline for people to continue to report any other issues. Now, a woman was killed and more than a dozen other people were hurt in that car crash.
Meantime, the president today strengthened his response to that attack. After not calling out the white supremacy groups by name originally, he did today, publicly condemning hate groups like the KKK and neo-Nazis.
Racism is evil, and those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs.
Now, the violence in Charlottesville continued today outside of the courtroom, where that 20-year-old suspect faced a judge for the very first time.
And that's where we find NBC's Jay Gray.
Good evening, Andrea. Good evening, Scott. Look, this is where it all started. A debate over the statue of Robert E. Lee. Many say sparked the controversy here in Charlottesville. That debate, though, has since faded after the horrific events over the weekend here.
They staged a bomb fight and you lost!
A fourth day of confrontations and conflict outside the courthouse in Charlottesville, while inside, James Alex Fields Jr., the man police say used his car as a weapon during a deadly weekend attack, appeared on closed-circuit TV, arraigned on charges that include second-degree murder. We are learning more about the 20-year-old from Ohio, a former high school teacher now saying Fields was outspoken about his political beliefs.
He thought the Nazis were great and what Hitler did was great, and, you know, this whole, like, white supremacy, racial dominance thing, he was into that.
He said little during the brief hearing and was not required to enter a plea. White nationalist Matthew Heimbach blamed authorities for the death of 32-year-old Heather Heyer.
This is on the hands of the city government, of the police, and the radical left.
Do you have any accountability for this death at all?
Not at all.
And continued saying alt-right neo-Nazi marchers were the victims during a clash with counter-protesters.
We were attacked.
Nazis, no!
His message was met with a rebuff that built to a frenzy, with Heimbach forced from the courthouse steps. While just a few blocks away, a memorial at the crash scene continues to grow, along with this community's resolve.
It is a tragedy, but Charlottesville will come back with love and compassion.
A city working to erase the scars and honor the injured and lost. Now, Fields continues to be held without bond. His next hearing will likely come in late August. In Charlottesville, Virginia, Jay Gray, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
And today we're also now hearing from the suspect's mother.
Yeah, when reporters found her in Ohio, she was surprised to hear the news. She says she thought her son was going to a rally about President Trump, not white supremacy.
I mean, he had an African-American friend. I mean, so...
Yeah.
Is
this surprising to you then, I guess?
Yeah, that he would run his car into a group of people for... I'm really not clear on.
She went on to say her son didn't say much about the rally before he left, but she told him to be careful.